Welcome to the Koryu podcast. I'm Zach from Canada,
And I'm Naoya from Japan.
and on this podcast, we talk about the differences between Japan and Canada, and between their cultures. And this week's topic will be on TV. Yes, so to start it off, we're just going to talk about um, our favorite Canadian shows. So for me, give me 1 second here.
Sure.
Yeah, my favorite ones are Kim's Convenience, Letterkenny, Republic of Doyle, Picnic Face, Cavendish, and
Okay.
Gary and His Demons. Have
hmm
you have you heard of any of these?
Actually, I've never heard of one of them.
Oh, so you mean
So
like
yeah, I've never heard all of them actually.
okay,
Yeah,
that's okay. Yeah,
yeah.
um, the only one of these that are kind of famous. Okay, there's two of these are kind of famous outside Canada. So Kim's
Okay.
Convenience is a really good one. It's been like getting kind of popular outside of Canada lately because it's on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's on Netflix in Japan, but
Okay.
it is in a lot of countries. Yeah, it's just about like a family that lives in Toronto that owns a convenience store, and
hmm
like the parents are Korean immigrants, and yeah,
Oh.
it's really good. It's really funny. Unfortunately, it just got canceled, kind of.
hmm Is it
So
kind of comedy
it
show?
is a comedy. Yeah, it is a
Comedy.
comedy.
Okay. hmm
Yeah, I really recommend it.
hmm
Yeah, especially for you since you're familiar with Toronto. Like, uh,
Yeah. Right.
yeah,
So yeah. I think I want to watch it. I can it it could remind me of the life in Canada. So
mhm,
yeah,
mhm. Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, the other one that's kind of popular is Letterkenny. Um,
Reda Kani,
Letterkenny, which
Reda
is
Kani. Okay.
yeah, it's named after a town,
Uh-huh.
this really rural town in Ontario, um, which is kind of weird because Um, so the actual town is like no one lives there. It's it's basically like
Oh,
a ghost town.
okay.
Um, so like in the show, it's like kind of fictional. Um, but yeah, basically it's just about
Mm,
people living out in the countryside in Ontario. Um,
okay.
it's also a comedy. It's really good. But like they use so much like slang that's really specific to Northern Ontario.
Okay. Do you
So
understand?
like
Do you
even for me
understand it? Yeah.
sometimes
yeah.
like even for me sometimes I have difficulty understanding
Oh, okay.
what they're saying. But yeah, it's really good. I recommend it if I'm not sure how you'd watch it in Japan, but if you could find it,
Oh,
it's
yep.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Interesting.
originally it was actually on YouTube.
YouTube.
So,
Okay.
so yeah, you can find it there at least.
Sorry. How do you spell it actually?
Oh,
I'll Google
so
it.
it's Letterkenny.
Mm-hmm. K-N. Okay.
Yeah, I
Why?
posted
Okay.
in yeah.
So how do you pronounce it again? Sorry.
Yeah. And then
Letter,
let's see. Yeah,
letter,
no worries.
letter me, letter Kelly.
Yeah,
So like letter and Kenny.
yeah,
Letter is like the tegami, and Kenny. Kenny
exactly.
is like
It's just like the name.
name. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I'll I'll check that out later. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
I guess I also really recommend Picnic Face,
Picnic
which,
face.
yeah, it's a really weird name, but it's a sketch comedy show. It
Okay.
unfortunately only lasted one season, but it's really good. Is do you know what sketch comedy is?
Actually, I'm not sure what it is.
Oh, that's okay.
Sketch comedy.
Comedy.
Comedy. Okay. What does it
Yeah,
mean?
sketch comedy is it's basically like when they write a scene
hmm
and then perform it and then like they go on to the next scene and it's like usually something completely different, but
Okay.
it's all just like comedy scenes
Comedy
basically.
scenes. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I can't really think of any Japanese equivalents. but
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
sketch means like just to sketch something, like so to write the story, to sketch the
yeah.
story kind of
Basically, like the reason it's called sketch comedies because like so the other type of comedy is improv comedy, and
improv comedy.
that's when it's the same thing,
Mm,
but they don't write it.
or,
They do it
uh,
live, so like they make it
I
up. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I totally understand. Yeah, like
Mhm.
improv comedy is like improvisement. Improvisement.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like improvised comedy. Yeah.
Improvised
Exactly.
comedy. Okay, gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Oh, interesting. Let's talk it.
Yeah.
Picnic face.
Yeah.
Picnic face.
I'll write this one out too.
Yeah, yeah.
And this one you can find the entire thing on YouTube, which is
Okay.
really nice. Yeah.
Picnic face.
Um,
Okay.
it gets really weird, but like in a good way, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. Um,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. And then the other two shows I mentioned, Cavendish and Gary and His Demons, um,
Mm.
they're also comedies. You could probably tell I really like comedies. um,
Okay.
and
I
like, sorry, go ahead.
sorry. I've ever heard of like Cavendish from like someone's name, I guess.
Oh, oh,
No,
really?
because
Uh,
it's not, sorry. This is off the topic, but yeah,
no, that's okay.
when I watch One Piece of like the anime, and then I can see one of the characters,
Mhm.
named Cavendish.
Really?
I'm not sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah. So that's why I heard of it, but I didn't know what it is.
When you said you knew it from a name, I thought you were going to talk about like the type of potato, because Cavendish potatoes, like
Oh,
our thing.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So Cavendish and Gary and His Demons, they're made by like one of the guys that was on Picnic Face. So like the style of comedy is
Mm-hmm.
pretty similar. So they're also really good. Uh, but do you have any favorite Canadian TV shows?
Yeah. Actually, I didn't really watch like Canadian TV shows,
Sure.
even in like TV, like cable and also Netflix. So
Sure.
yeah, but I have like some questions about it. Like,
Okay.
do like people in Canada usually watch on cable or just Netflix?
Um, it de- it depends on the person's age, to be
Okay.
honest. For younger people, like I think like most people just use Netflix or Amazon Prime or
Mm-hmm.
Crave. Yeah, usually one of the streaming services. It's very rare that a young person watches cable. But for the older generation, like for sure, they still watch cable all the time.
Okay. Okay.
Like my parents never stopped
Your
watching
parents
cable.
never. Okay. Yeah, it's same as like Japan. Yeah, Japan, I guess. Yeah, my parents
Mhm.
never stop. Yeah, watching on cable. So yeah, and then they don't use like phone to watch some like TV
Sure.
shows or like PC. So it's same. Like yeah, but
Mhm.
younger people usually use Netflix or YouTube,
Mm, yeah,
Amazon
exactly.
Prime, stuff like that. Yeah.
Are
Mm.
there any Japan how I explain it's like Japan only streaming services? Because like in Canada we have Crave, um, which is just Canada only.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think some of the carriers
Hmm.
in Japan has
Hmm.
it, but actually I've never used it. I usually use
Oh
like
sure.
Netflix and also
Mm-hmm.
just YouTube, Amazon Prime. Yeah,
Oh okay.
that's everything that I use. So yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same here because like Crave is like it's made by Bell, so it's like the same kind of
Okay. Hmm.
same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, though like to be honest, for TV, like there is some Canadian TV, and Canadians do watch it, but like American TV is so much it's just more
Okay.
popular.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like, are there any like some channels in Canada like from the like different like how can I say, it's kind of a company, like different
Mm.
TV company.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh, do you mean from do you mean in Canada, or do you mean like from other countries as well?
From other company as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure, yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure, like from the states, like there's so many, like pretty almost any TV,
Mm-hmm.
like TV company that exists in the states is usually also in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
For other countries though, maybe not.
Maybe
Or
not.
like you would have to pay extra to watch them or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Um
So Canadian TV shows are usually influenced by the American TV shows.
sorry, say
Like
it again.
you guys can watch, a lot of American TV shows on the cable and
Yeah,
also okay.
very easily. Yeah, like
Okay.
like I would say like Canadians probably watch more American TV than Canadian TV, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
That being said, there are some Canadian TV shows that have gotten popular outside of Canada, which is pretty cool.
Mm. Okay.
Um, so like I said, I did like Kim's Convenience. I talked about a little bit, and Letterkenny as well has been getting
Mm-hmm.
popular outside of Canada as well, which is cool. Um, there's also Schitt's Creek. It's another comedy that has gotten seemingly really popular. It's won some awards, I'm pretty sure. I personally don't. I don't really like it, but a lot of people do, so I recommend it.
Okay.
There's also Degrassi. Have you heard of this one?
No.
Oh, okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
Degrassi's gotten a little bit more famous. It's super famous in Canada for sure.
Okay.
And it's gotten popular outside Canada a little bit, mainly because Drake was on it. Like
Mm-hmm.
he was like before he was a rapper, he was an actor on this show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like I remember oh god, what it must have been like 2010 or maybe 2011, and my sister was telling me, "Oh, like Jimmy from Degrassi is a rapper now." And
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting because I
Oh.
really I would not have thought, some from
Hmm. But was he an actor
Mhm,
before
mhm. Yeah, he was an actor before.
he became rapper? Hmm.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And like this series is pretty interesting too, because like there how do I describe this series is like more like 5 or 6 series, like
Mm-hmm.
because it's about a high school in
Okay.
Toronto,
Mm-hmm.
and like the characters change every few years.
Okay.
So there's been like 6 different versions of this show. So like Drake was on
Oh,
one of them.
one of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, I didn't know that he, he used to be um
Mm,
actor in Toronto. So,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so like people here know him, like at least people like my age know him first from this show, and then
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
then they know him as a rapper basically.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah.
But do most of Canadian know he was a actor before he became rapper?
I think for like the younger generation they might not know,
Mm-hmm.
because like he was on that show like 15 years ago.
Okay.
So it's been a while since he's been an
Okay.
actor.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. Maybe younger people don't know about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the next is a show called Vikings about, well, Vikings.
Vikings. Okay.
I personally haven't watched it, but it's another show that's like pretty popular. Yeah, I
Is
unfortunately don't have much to say about it because I haven't watched it, but a lot of people seem to really like it.
is it also comedy?
Oh no, this one's like a drama. This is like how do I explain this? Like this would be the same kind of genre as like Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess like action slash drama, if
Okay.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. Yeah. Then there's a show called Trailer Park Boys.
Trailer Park 4. Oh, it's so hard to pronounce for me, actually.
mm, yeah, I guess there's lots of R's and L's in this one.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's as you could maybe guess, it's about boys in a trailer park.
Okay. Boys and Trailer Park. Okay. Mm.
Yeah, and it's interesting.
Mhm.
Like there's a lot of really crazy stuff happens. Like, man, I don't know how to describe this show. Like,
Okay. It's
if you can
hard to.
imagine, it's like if you can imagine a trailer park and what it would be like to live there, that's this show. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, it's it's surprising to me how popular the show is. I think like it might be one of the most famous Canadian shows like ever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I watched a little bit of it, but I was never super into it.
Mhm, mhm.
Uh, but yeah, I guess it's worth a watch for sure.
Okay. So do you watch on Netflix or something?
Um, oh god, I'm actually not sure because like so this show's actually it's been on for a long time. Like this show's been on since I was a kid. So
Mhm.
like when I watched it, like I was watching it on cable.
Okay.
Uh, but I think you probably should be able to watch it on some streaming service. I would
Mhm.
think.
Mhm. Mhm. So I think yeah, like when I was a kid, I usually watch TV show on cable, and then also I think right? So we didn't have
Mhm.
any kinds of like streaming services,
Yeah, it's
right?
for both those before
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Before that, so yeah, now it's changing. So younger
Mhm.
people, a lot of the younger people just use streaming services to watch
Mhm.
anything, I think.
Yeah.
And then in Japan, there are some services that we can watch TV shows which are showed on the TV before, like on the cable before.
Hmm.
Does it make sense? Like,
Yeah, for sure. Because
yeah.
like here, like you can like even if a show ended like 20 years ago, you could probably if the show
Mm,
was popular, you could probably still watch it on
okay.
cable. Yes.
Mm,
Mm.
for sure. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And then there's one last show I want to talk about. It's not I'm not sure how famous it is outside of
yeah.
Canada,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
uh, but it is pretty notable. It's the show called Coroner Gas. Um,
Corner gas. Okay.
yeah, so it's about a gas station,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and it's really interesting because it's set in Saskatchewan, I believe,
mm-hmm.
and like Saskatchewan's really not like really not a common place for a TV show to take place. Like even in Canada, um
Mm,
yeah, it's like it's one of the like least populated provinces.
okay.
Um,
Provinces.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but it's a good show as well. It's another comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I can't speak about the new series because what happened was so originally it was a live action show,
Okay.
and that show's good. That's what I watched. Then weirdly, they like have a new series and it's animated, which is
Animated. Okay.
yeah. I haven't really heard people talk about it, so maybe maybe it's not good, but
Ah.
I can't really say either way.
Okay.
Yeah, but I guess in Japan the show's also not known, right?
I've never heard that like the original TV show is just like action live action show, and then you
Mhm.
said just it's animated, right?
Yeah, now it
So
is. Yeah.
okay, that pattern is not normal in Japan. Japanese people usually
Mm.
try to make like interesting animes, and then after that, it's if it's interesting,
Mhm.
it's it becomes like a live action TV.
Yeah, usually it's the
Like
other way
movie.
around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I've never heard of that kind of thing. So okay, animated, interesting. Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, the just the one other thing I want to talk a little bit is that so what's interesting about Canada is that like we don't have that many famous shows, but
うん。
I think I read it's somewhere like 25% of like Hollywood movies, basically like really like big budget movies that sorry, well, I guess like movies and TV, like 25% of them from the US
うん。
are like filmed in Canada. So
Oh.
even even though we don't have like many shows of our own that are famous, like there's a lot that are filmed here because
Yeah.
I guess it's cheaper than than in the US.
Indeed. Yeah, right. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah,
Oh, actually, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, sorry. Yeah. I've watched like, what was that? Like drama?
Hmm.
Like, and then which is main stage, which the main stage is US?
Hmm.
Mm. But I I could see they they film it they filmed it in like Toronto because I
Oh
can
yeah,
see
it's
the
common. Yeah.
station
Hmm.
in the Toronto, and then yeah, so and but they said it's in New York, so
Yeah, it's so popular because
yeah.
I guess because like for big cities, like
Mm,
they kind of do look the same, and
yeah.
people say that like Toronto is like I don't know, like the New York Junior, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I've ever
Yeah,
heard of it. Yeah, yeah. When I was in
yeah,
Canada, yeah,
for sure.
people said that. Yeah. Okay. Mm.
Yeah, and actually, so I just thought of a really good example that also kind of includes Japan.
Okay.
Um, so I think the second Resident Evil movie, um,
Okay.
like was filmed in Toronto. So like in the movie, you could see like oh, it's not Young Dundas Square, it's the other Nathan Phillips Square in like the last scene of the movie, which is really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the second movie. Oh, second episode of that, like Resident Evil is filmed. Was
Yeah, it
filmed
was
in
filmed in Toronto. Yeah.
Toronto. Ah, okay. But the actual stage of the movie is like, where is the like actual stage of
Oh,
the movie?
uh, I guess like how do I explain it? It's supposed to be set in the U.S. in Raccoon City, but like
Yeah.
Raccoon City isn't a real place.
Oh, Raccoon City. Okay. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Right, right. Interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
But I guess that's movies, so we'll talk about that a different time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, is there any city in any other cities that is used to film,
Hmm.
like in
For sure.
Canada?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, for sure. The one other one I know for sure is Vancouver.
Hmm.
Vancouver gets used a lot, to the point that people will call Vancouver like Hollywood North.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How it knows?
Mhm, mhm.
Okay, but like they don't say that it's in Vancouver, right? Just
No. Yeah, that's
okay.
the thing. There's so many shows that are filmed in Toronto or Vancouver, but there's not many shows where the setting is Toronto or Vancouver.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So because it's cheap, right? It's cheaper
Yeah,
than
it's cheaper than to do
filming.
in the US, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Mm. Oh, okay. So is it okay for like Canadian people? Like, you know, it's cheaper than US, but I think people in US usually use Canada to film, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Ah, interesting. Okay, okay.
Yeah, wait, actually, you know what? Never mind, I'll save it for the movie episode. I thought another movie example, but
Okay.
yeah, but yeah, for now, let's unless you have something else to ask about Canadian TV shows, I think
Vicious,
it's
yeah.
probably talk about I guess Japan now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Japanese TV show. Actually, sorry. Before I said, I usually use like streaming service to watch
Hmm.
TV
Hmm.
shows, but actually recently, I'm usually in a house, so I
Mm-hmm.
don't go outside actually because I'm
Yeah.
working on in a house. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, I tend to watch TV shows on cable recently. So
Oh, okay.
mm, yeah, actually I'm using that both. So to watch TV shows. So yeah, I can
Mm.
talk about TV shows on cable in Japan, I guess. Mm, which are interesting. Like, and then there are some like variety shows in
Mm-hmm.
Japan that I like. Yeah, and
Mm.
then one of them is called "You wa nani shi ni Nippon e" in Japan. In
Yeah, no
Japanese,
idea.
sorry. Yeah, you have no idea anything about it.
Yeah.
You wa nani shi ni Nippon e means like why did you come to Japan? And
Oh,
then
okay.
mm,
Oh, I think I've
so
heard of this one.
oh really?
Yeah, I guess I
Yeah,
recognize the English name.
yeah. So it's like interviewer just try to ask
Mm-hmm.
why foreigners come to Japan, and then you know they answer to them, and then sometimes they they give they give a permission to interview more,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then interviewer just follow them, and then we can see how they how and what they do in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
something. So which is interesting for me, mm, because we can see like a lot of traditional Japanese aspects. Even for me, like there are many things that I don't know. And then foreigners usually like very specific thing in Japan.
For example.
For example, okay. For example, like there are a lot of traditional, like old, mm, like architectures or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. And then they like one of them. And then even yeah, we like Japanese usually know a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
but even for me, I cannot. I didn't know. But there are some things that I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. So
For sure.
mm. And then the other one that I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
that I like
Mm-hmm.
on TV show, on cable is 世界の果てまで行ってきゅう which means that
Mm.
世界の果て is like
Like world something.
yeah, world something. Yeah, 世界の果て 果て is like far from Japan. So
Okay.
like some talents just go to some of the place in the world, and then they try to they challenge something, like they try to join the festival in a like specific location, and also they try
Mm-hmm.
to do some like bungee jump sometimes. They just
Mm-hmm.
challenge something, yeah, in like different area in the world. That kind of TV show is like 世界の果てまで行って9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then these TV shows that are TV shows that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
So on cable. And also I like watching TV shows that shows like Japanese manzai.
Oh, sure, sure.
Yeah. Which is like there are two people on the stage, and then they talk about something, and then they
Yeah. Mm.
do. It's kind of like traditional Japanese
Yeah,
thing.
like yeah, we don't really have the exact same thing here, but I guess the easiest way to explain it, it's like stand-up comedy here, but with
Oh,
two
stand up comedy.
people. Yeah, but with two
Uh,
people every time.
yeah, usually two people, but sometimes three people,
Oh, sure, sure.
or just one person. To
Mm-hmm.
how can I say just monomane in English? Like some of the some of the like comedian try to copy someone's like
Mm.
attitude, like
Oh,
behave,
okay. Okay, so you mean like so one comedian will try to, I guess, like imitate some
imitate.
other
Yeah,
like famous
yeah,
person, right?
yeah.
Oh, okay. So we call that an impression.
Impression
Impression. Yeah.
in English. Okay.
So for example, you could say, oh geez, what's a good example?
Like, do Canadian people like do Canadian imitate like Drake's
I was about to say,
behave?
yeah, it's
Okay,
like yeah, if I did an impression of Drake, yeah, like that.
Drake. Okay, gotcha. Okay, okay. Interesting. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Or like Justin Bieber or something like in
Exactly,
Canada.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, it's same as Japan. Like yeah, I like watching like TV shows like people
Hmm.
imitate some like famous people, and then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this is also like comedian. Like this is the thing that comedian do, and then also in actually I'm living in Osaka, and
Yeah.
then there are so many locations that I can watch, that I can see like some
Hmm.
comedy shows on the
y-
stage actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say because like Osaka's how do I explain? It's kind of like the comedy capital of Japan,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
yeah, makes sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
Mm,
most like comedy prefecture maybe like that in Japan. So
mm.
yeah,
And I
it's
guess people also.
mm,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say just
no
also
worries.
people
Go ahead.
usually like people's image, or I guess like people in Japan, like their image of people from Osaka usually is that they're funny, right? That's what I've
Yeah,
heard, at
right.
least. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially in Japan, I think people in Japan usually identify, you
Hmm.
know, like Osaka people usually like funny and interesting. It's not interesting, it's funny, you know.
Sure,
I
sure, sure.
think people in Osaka like talking and also like,
Mm.
making someone laugh,
Yeah.
I guess. So that's why maybe it's called like
Comedy capital. Yeah.
comedy capital, I guess. Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like one of the things that we compare to Tokyo, I guess.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same in Canada with like Montreal and
Oh, really?
Toronto, I guess. Yeah, Montreal is like it's pretty famous for comedy. Like
Oh,
they have a festival there called the Just for Laughs Festival,
okay. Hmm.
and it's like I'm pretty sure it's like internationally popular.
Okay.
Yeah, like a lot of really famous comedians have performed there. Um,
Mm.
and I should have mentioned this when I was talking about Canadian TV shows, but there's this really famous show there called Just for Laughs Gags,
Hmm.
and I was kind of mentioned to you before, like it's kind of a prank show,
Okay.
um, with like just people in public, and apparently it's I think it's kind of famous outside of Canada as well. It's kind of hard for me to say, but
Hmm.
yeah, it's very famous in Canada at least.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Like, oh, what is the name of place? I forgot it. Vancouver. No, not Vancouver. Montreal. Sorry, I didn't know that
Mhm.
Montreal is famous for like comedy and
Oh, for
capital.
sure.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Mhm.
And then it's like like each province has like does each province has different TV shows on the cable? I mean, like,
Um,
is that different? Like,
kind of like
kind
I
of.
guess so. Yeah, I guess like each province has their own like local TV
Mm.
station, but like they're usually not very popular.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Hmm. And then just I have one question about like people in Canada actually. So like, how do you describe people in Toronto? And then do you like compare to people in Vancouver?
Oh,
Like
for
I mean,
sure. Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
okay. I mean, in Japan, like Tokyo people usually like people in Osaka usually say that people in Tokyo are like not funny
Yeah,
or something.
it's honestly it's like almost the exact same because like
Same.
almost
Okay.
almost the exact same because like I think it's just with like I guess like the biggest city
Mm.
and in any place they usually
Yeah.
say the people there are like really cold,
Yeah.
um which I don't really think is true.
Mm.
I think but maybe I'm biased since
Okay.
I'm like yeah. But yeah, people usually say that like people from Toronto are really cold and mean.
Oh, really?
But then people from pretty much anywhere else they say are nice by comparison. Um,
Hmm.
especially on the east coast, so places like Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, they usually say they're really nice.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I don't think people in Toronto are very cold when I was in Canada. Actually, I've never, I've never thought about it. Like,
Mm.
mm, yes, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
yeah. Oh, sorry.
sorry, I was just gonna say that. I mean, I feel it's the same. For sorry, did they say that the people from like Tokyo specifically are Discord, or just like Kanto in general?
Hmm. Depend on the person.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. I don't really think about like people in Tokyo are usually cold because
Yeah, I
like
agree.
mm, I think people in Tokyo are usually like come from any like other places in Japan.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
You know, yeah,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm.
I cannot call them like immigrants. Immigrants is usually from like
I mean, they
different countries.
are like they're still an immigrant, just like
Oh,
I guess
so okay,
I guess a domestic
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 immigrants.
immigrant. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah,
So they're domestic immigrants. So
yeah.
yeah, like it's it's a kind of like mixed culture. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then each person has different dialect in Tokyo. So actually, but they try to hide, I think, because they want to be used to living in Tokyo
Mhm.
first, and then yeah, so that's why maybe people in Tokyo are not so cold. Like, mm.
Yeah, like when there's so many people, it's kind of hard to say that they're all like the same. If that makes sense, it just
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I feel like you just can't really generalize.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And then, yeah, usually so go back to going back to the topic we talked about is
Sure.
right.
Yeah.
What's like TV show? Yeah, and then in Osaka, yeah, there are so many like comedy stages, and then we can see many kinds of uh like comedy shows on cable and also all Netflix, Amazon Prime
Mhm.
as well. And then yeah, I like watching the comedy shows too, and then also recently I like watching news, just the news.
Oh,
Actually,
sure.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Maybe people, yeah, yeah, yeah. And but what was like kind of like social issues in Japan is like that younger people don't really watch news. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think it's kind of a I think it's common in a lot of places, to be honest. At least in North America, it's also really common that like younger people don't watch the news as much, or
oh
if
okay.
they'll still keep up with the news, but it'll probably be just like reading it online versus
Hmm.
watching it on TV.
Yeah, right. So in
Mhm.
your case, do you watch that like news?
Oh,
Oh.
I can't remember the last time I watched the news.
Oh, okay.
Like if I watch the news, it's because I'm like waiting in a restaurant for my food, and like
Okay.
they have like the news on the TV. That's like the only time.
Only time that you watch
Yeah.
news. Okay. So you usually get like some of the information on just website or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
like SMS. Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's same for me. Mm. Okay. Mm. And then also we have uh, the TV shows about quiz. Like some smart people try to push the button to answer
Oh, sure, sure,
first.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
Do you have? Do you guys have that kind of thing? Let's say.
Yeah, sometimes. Like there are game shows in Canada as well.
Hmm.
Um, but I'll be honest, like most of the time it's just like the Canadian version of an American show.
Okay.
Yeah. Though okay, I guess I should mention so do you know the show Jeopardy?
Pretty.
Yeah. It's okay if you don't.
Mm.
But at least in North America it's really popular. It is a kind of quiz show.
Okay.
Um and the host of it was this guy named Alex Trebek, and he was on it for like 30 or 40 years or something. And
Okay.
he was actually from Sudbury, which is pretty
Hmm.
interesting.
Uh,
Uh,
so
mhm.
they are like the Canadian versions of like American TV shows. Like
And this and that okay, in that case,
in that.
He was a Canadian on an American show.
Okay.
Which is also very common.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. Hmm. So like American and Canadian usually like share the TV shows, but
Yeah,
people in America don't watch TV shows from Canada. Does that
not
make sense? Like
not really. Like
okay,
at least not for game shows. For other
for
types of
game shows.
shows sometimes,
Mm.
but
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay. And also like we this is a word that I talk
Mhm.
about. Like we have like golden time in katakana, which means I think from 7 p.m. to 9 or 10 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah, so people usually watch TV shows on cable,
Mhm.
like from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. something, and then
Mm.
which
Yeah,
is called golden time in katakana. Is that same as Canada?
almost the
Almost.
same. So at least in North America, we have the same thing, but we call it prime time.
Prime time. Okay.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Amazon Prime. Like people were saying
Okay.
prime time way before that.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so you hear people talk about prime time TV is usually like the most popular shows on
on cable.
yeah, from like in that time
On that
slot.
time.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. And also, do people in Canada watch drama on cable?
Hmm.
Okay.
Um or on like a streaming service, yeah.
Oh, it's something else. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
for
Mm.
sure.
Because I know that like people in Canada tend to watch like drama on Netflix or something.
For
But
sure.
I've never heard that on cable. So
Mm. Yeah, I mean like usually it depends on what it is,
mm.
but like there's a lot of dramas that will like they're on TV first and then like later they come to Netflix or Amazon Prime or something.
Okay.
Like yeah, that's
Yeah,
super
yeah,
common.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's same. Yeah, it's common in Japan too. Okay. なるほど。面白い。Okay. And then also, I know like that I think people overseas usually watch anime on
Yeah.
Netflix or Crunchyroll.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
That's correct.
Uh
Okay.
yes, but also they also watch them on like illegal sites very very commonly.
Legal sites. Okay.
Maybe the most commonly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I think it's illegal, for people to like post some scenes of animation on
Mm.
YouTube as well. Like,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
but but actually we can watch it like on YouTube, right? So,
It depends. It depends on the show, really. Like some you could find on YouTube, but other ones it's like it's a totally separate site. Like
mm,
there's like a million of them where you can watch anime
yeah.
for free.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And also on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
So is that like subscribing service?
So for
Right.
Crunchyroll, they do have some shows you can watch for free.
Mm-hmm.
But most of them you do have to pay like a subscription fee for.
For free. Okay. Okay. So it's same as like Netflix. right? Does
Yeah,
it just
but
okay?
just for like anime, and I think
Just
for
for
some dramas as well,
oh, okay.
and actually I think manga as well now.
Oh, can read manga on
Yeah,
Crunchyroll.
yeah.
Okay.
Like to be honest, people here like it's very rare that they read like actual like physical manga. Like it's like
Mm,
almost 100% of the time they will read it. I guess digitally.
digitally. Oh, yeah, yeah, right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. And then so actually I talked about all favorite my TV shows
Okay.
now, and then
Mm.
so let's talk about something about do you have like some recommendation?
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, I just want to go through mine quickly. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, so my favorites, gotta be. Um, I'll start with the one live action one that I know, which
Mm-hmm.
is at least in English, the name is Yoshihiko and the Demon's Key,
Okay.
I believe is the name.
Okay.
Um, which is really good. Actually, no, give me one second. I'll find the
Oh,
Japanese name.
Yoshihiko.
Yoshihiko. Yeah.
Yusha Yoshihiko.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yoshihiko. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That
like
that.
I like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That
Okay.
was really good. Um. Yeah. I guess for if anyone doesn't know, it's like it's kind of like a parody, I guess, of like Dragon Quest. I guess is the
Dragon.
easiest way to describe it.
Yeah, Dragon Quest. Yeah, right. So they they face some monsters like they while
Mm,
walking along
yeah.
the wall, and then they just try to yeah beat them. But I think it's not like fighting or like battle. TV show. It's just
Yeah. It's
comedy.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's definitely a comedy first.
yeah, yeah. And then yeah, so most of actors and actors on Yusha Yoshihiko
Mhm.
is famous for like many kinds of like comedy shows, comedy
Oh, okay. Yeah,
movies
makes sense.
actually, and the shows in Japan.
Mhm.
So and then I think it's the same. Oh, I forgot the name. How can I say that like people like a person who film mainly film in the for the movie
Oh, you mean like the director?
director, yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
director or the just main, the top of the
Or
group
producer, I guess?
producer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so. Producer. Yeah, I think producer. Yeah, yeah. So the
Sure,
producer
sure.
is the same, like in all like comedy shows, and then which is
Mm.
like who is a very famous. Like yeah, he usually make funny TV shows and
Yeah, my
movies.
girlfriend told me about another one of his, and oh, this it's really interesting because this other show, it was an anime first, and then it was live action. I forgot the name. It's like, um, Kyo Ore, Kara
今日か
or
ら
something
俺
like.
は
Yes, that's it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Which is also very interesting. Yeah, funny, very
yeah,
funny. Yeah.
for sure.
うん。Okay.
Yeah.
今日から俺は、Yeah, 今日から俺は it's movie and also anime
Mm.
and drama maybe. It used to be drama, I think, on
Oh,
TV show.
okay.
うん。
Yeah,
Yeah, 今日から。うん
yeah. All right, then moving along. So the rest of mine are all anime. So possibly my favorite, Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, Hunter x Hunter. Okay.
Yeah. I think for me, I think it's maybe the best shonen anime.
Uh, so you mean like on the TV shows? Is that most
Mm.
famous, most the best
Oh,
anime?
I mean, like for me, I think it's the
Ah, for
best.
you. Okay, sorry.
For
For
me,
you.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. For you. Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then the maybe the one other show that might be my favorite is way less popular.
Mm.
It's called Beck Mongolian Chop Squad.
Okay.
and yeah, it's just really it's just really good one about it's about like a rock band
Okay.
called Beck. Nothing to do with the artist,
Mm-hmm.
also named Beck. The manga is also really good. I really highly recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah, the music in it's also really good too.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it is by the Beat Crusaders, or I
Big
guess in
Satan.
Japanese, yeah, Bito Kurusedasu.
Bito.
I'm I'm not sure the exact katakana for it,
Okay.
but yeah, the band that does the music is really good. Um,
Uh, okay. Is a title made by like all like the letters all katakana for the
yes,
title?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Bito なんだろう I'm not sure
yeah.
what
One
it
second,
is.
I'll
I think I know if I if I
maybe.
say in Japanese I guess.
Yeah, I think you say in Japanese, it'll make sense. But yeah, we'll move along. Yeah, so second last one is one called, in English at least, it's called Daily Lives of High School Boys.
Okay.
Yeah, give me one second. You know what? I'll find the Japanese title as well.
高校生の
Oh, it's okay, sorry. So in Japanese
生活
it's Danshi Kokosei no
うん。
Nichijou.
男子高校生の日常。
Mm,
Okay.
yeah. It's just a really good comedy anime. Like
Okay.
it really, I think it really lives up to the name because it does remind me of in my friends when we were in high school.
Mm-hmm.
There's
ああ、
just so
OK。
many crazy things happen. It's a
男子
really good.
高校生の日常。Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Is it live
very very funny.
action?
Uh Maybe they made a live action version, but
Yeah.
I just know the anime.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Because I'm Googling it now and then I can see live
Hmm.
action version of this anime.
Oh, maybe yeah.
Maybe. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
And then
Mm,
finally, it's not one specifically, but I just in general,
mm.
um I guess I also recommend Gundam. Like
Oh, Gundam. Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
Quantum
there's
Break. Yeah. Gundam.
yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I guess my favorite ones are Gundam. Oh God, I guess Gundam Double O and Gundam Unicorn. I
Okay.
guess,
There
but
are
I mean,
many,
there's so
many
many. Yeah, there's so many.
Gundams in Japan. So yeah.
Do you have any recommended Gundam series?
Gundam series? Yeah. Mm, I didn't really watch Gundam, but yeah,
Sure,
it's
sure.
not same. But I usually watch like
Oh,
Evangelion.
okay, sure, sure.
Yeah, which is not Gundam, but
It's not Gundam, but it's the same genre, I
yeah,
guess. Yeah.
yeah. But people who is a big fan of Evangelion usually
Mm.
say it's not Gundam. So they don't want to the same genre.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah.
Mm, I mean, they are kind of different. I mean, Gundam is way more, I guess, like political, whereas like
Mm.
Evangelion's like more psychological, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah, but like Evangelion is not same as Gundam maybe.
Yeah, the themes are different, but they're both, how to explain this? They're both like giant robot
Right.
animes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, like
Oh, okay.
in Japanese, do you also say like mecha?
Yeah, mecha.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, I
In
guess.
katakana. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah, they're both
Yeah,
mecha.
yeah. Mecha, mecha. Yeah. And then yeah, but people who is are a big fan of Evangelion usually say that Evangelion isn't mecha because it's actually
Hmm.
not mecha. And then
Hmm.
it
I understand what they
yeah,
mean.
yeah, 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 yeah. I
Hmm.
I'm not I'm fan of the Evangelion. I like watching, but I'm not
Mm,
a
mm.
big fan of the Evangelion, so I didn't
Mm.
really mention it. But usually they say that.
Sure.
Yeah, that's one of the points that they want to say. Yeah, I think the difference between Gundam and Evangelion.
Mm.
Mm. and then yeah, like anime. In terms of anime, when I was a kid, we can watch a lot of animes on cable.
Oh,
On
same here
usually
too.
like yeah. Oh, same. Okay, from like it's golden time. I think in your case, prime time.
Yeah.
But now it's not the same. Like we cannot watch them like on cable. We usually
Interesting.
tend to watch them on like Netflix or just illegal sites maybe
Sure.
and YouTube. And then usually it's at late at night we can watch them.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's kind of similar here too. There is this like, how to explain it? There's like this really famous sort of TV channel called Toonami here
Tsunami,
into the
okay.
US. Yeah, and it was always like really late at night, and they would play anime.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how a lot of people got into anime from like my generation. Yeah.
Tsunami, okay. Gotcha. So, but you guys also watch anime like on the prime time when you were young?
It's really hard for me to remember now because it was like 20 years ago.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, here for those types of shows, like for kids shows here, like Saturday mornings are more
Yeah,
famous for
yeah,
yeah.
it's same as Japan. Yeah, we can watch we can watch those kind of TV shows on in the morning and also in the like prime time
Sure.
in Japan. Yeah. Okay. And then like on Sunday when I was a kid, I think it's 20 years, not 20 years ago, maybe 15 or 17 or 18 years ago.
Sure.
I usually watch. I think I had a routine to watch those kinds of TV shows. Like on Sunday, there are the 4 favorite animes on prime time, and then it is like the first of all, I think it's Chibi Maruko-chan.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, do you know about that? Chibi Maruko-san.
Yeah, for
Chibi
sure.
Maruko-chan, sorry, Chibi Maruko-chan, and also Sazae-san. And then after that, just こちら葛飾区亀有公園前初出場 which is also famous. And then after that, One Piece. So
sure.
yeah, so these are my favorite ones. And then yeah, it's kind of routine for me that I watch them, all of them, on Sunday when I was a kid.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I think most of Japanese kids used to be like that, like me. But now I'm not sure how they watch anime now.
Sure.
Maybe YouTube or like Netflix. Their parents.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Purchase some streaming service and then they show it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, and then like my favorite one. I talk all of them.
Okay, with that, that's gonna be the end of our episode. Next week we're gonna be talking about katakana words with our friend Dasami from the Japan English podcast, and we'll also be on her podcast talking about Japanese phrases with no English equivalent. So look forward to that. Now, is there anything you want to say before we go?
Oh yeah, so their podcasts are gonna be very helpful to learn Japanese, I guess, and then which is so interesting for us and for foreigners. So
for sure.
Yeah, please check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. With that, I guess we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Matane.
Matane. Bye bye.